that. I'm all good. Got my energy drink. Got a snack. I almost forgot today was Thursday earlier. That's fair. Yeah, I decided some friends were playing it, so I decided to give Cave and try that WoW Classic for a bit. It's like I figured it's like I'll give it like a month or something. I'll test the waters and see if I enjoy it. I was playing that earlier, and then it's like 5 o'clock hit. It's like, oh yeah, I have game to.
Oh god.
Whoever it was finished. Dip-a-doot.
There.
Dip-a-doot. Dip-a-doot.
Oh, is Twitch having a day today? Sounds right. What is up, party people?
Things and stuff.
Twitch is on the ropes right now.
Oh yeah, I should probably go on to Twitch, give you another viewer there.
Yeah.
Alright, volume. Alright, there we go. Volume all the way down.
We are in tabletop mode, but I just have to say that I fucking love my new job, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. Been good so far?
Yeah. I've been it's been a long time since I've worked for a call center that I actually believe in. Like, so much so that I'm considering asking to be moved from customer service to sales before I even start customer service. I'm gonna see what customer service looks like, because like there's still potential for commission and stuff and everything like that, but just listening to sales calls today, it like made me remember that hunger and that drive, and it's like it's reigniting something in me.
People can actually believe in call center jobs?
What?
People can actually believe in call center jobs?
Buddy, I've never... honestly, I'm still waiting to wake up from this fever dream and, like, wake up and still be in, like, the same miserable situation I'm in. Like, it is too good to be true. Like, it seems too good to be true, but it's all real. Everything about the job is real. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Accenture for me.
Hey, as somebody who worked at Minax, I understand the feeling that you're describing, and this is like, it's that idea of, oh, it's almost too good to be true, but no, this is different. Like, this is like genuinely, they can prove to you without a doubt that this place is legit, and like everybody enjoys their job. The one guy who is training us, Max, is quite literally one of the coolest people I've ever met in a call center setting, ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never sat in like a training class and been like, this is the place I'm going to be for the rest of like for the rest of however long. Like, this is not a place that I want to move on from if I can help it.
What kind of stuff do they sell, or what do they sell?
They sell websites. They reach
You
out to
can't
small.
hear me because I'm muted because I'm fucking dumb.
Yeah, they reach out to small businesses and they sell like website setups. So getting them set up with the .com, with an email, with like
Yeah.
like with the whole setup at a reasonable price.
The Kathy is here.
Okay. Cool.
You want to give them Cheerios? Yeah, I can give them Cheerios. Yeah, they love Cheerios.
Like, hey, it's a blurry Kathy. Hi, blurry Kathy.
She's got to give the chin some treats. The chinchillas demand treats before she may sit.
I see the pupper waddling in there.
Yeah, right through the edge of the cage. Yeah, there's a pupper there too. You're not staying in here, pupper. You're gonna start barking and whining. Nope.
Yeah. What
you doing here?
Be a little. It's supposed to be down here.
Yeah, can you wrangle him into a snowdrift or in a burlap bag in the river or something? Either place is a good place for the dog. He's done like
just throw him into a singularity.
throw him into a singularity. He is no longer part of the universe.
Hello, everybody. I'm here.
Hey, it's a Kathy.
Hello.
Hi, Kathy.
Yep.
How are you today?
Oh, a thing of beauty and a joy forever.
Oh,
that's what I love
man.
to hear.
She said with a straight face.
Oh,
Well,
they're
kitties
just sitting there. They weren't talking. It's silent because they're busy fapping in the background or something.
No,
I did not wash all of the soap out of my bottle of water.
Sudsy.
Looks like I'm drinking dishwater. I've been bean boozled.
Maybe it's
Actually, I think it's just a little bit on the lip of it. I don't think it's like actually in the water itself.
By the way, Ken, you and Plaid are the last two in the friendos that are not on the Bean Boozled train.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Even Kirby's on it now.
How much does that shit cost?
Like, I don't know, like $15?
Ah, why'd it gotta be cheap? If it was expensive, I could be like, no, I can't afford that shit.
And that's for like the box with the spinner. I think you can just get the bags of them for even cheaper.
Ah, fuck's sakes. Alright. We're just sitting here at the moment anyways. Well,
$5 a month. What are you doing with your life?
what am I doing with my life? Indeed. Oh, fuck. Way to start the session with your GM can't be able to fucking hear.
What?
Question for the ages.
What? Gucci on that train. Bean Beazle before Platt says.
I'm Gucci on that train.
Oh yeah, I
It's
can
for
get
solidarity, you son of a bitch.
I can get a 2-box thing with spinners for $27.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, why?
I don't know. I don't know what Bean Boozle is.
Is this a bucket?
What the hell is Bean Boozled?
It's a jelly bean thing, but like there's 2 jelly bean, like there's for each type of jelly bean there's 2, and one of them's good and one of them's bad. Like it might be like what was it, peaches or vomit?
Yep, I know. Okay, yeah.
How
yeah,
much?
they had a brand like that years ago.
150 million. Yeah, and it comes with like little spinners, and they're like legitimately awful, from what I understand.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
I
seen
remember
some streamers like commit to the Bean Boozle thing because like they would have a
99
separate
grams.
camera aiming down at the spinner so you can see what they spun.
I remember back in the day, because there was another brand back. They were playing off the Harry Potter success and did the Birdie Bots every flavor beans, but they were real ones.
Same brand. Same brand. Jelly Belly. Same guys.
It's the same ones. Yeah.
Now there's a game out of it. It's like I was afraid because I tried a couple of the weird ones, like the sardine flavored jelly beans, and It's like, okay, these are way too accurate for me to want to take the risk of any of the other ones.
Yeah, you can get refills for like cheaper. Like you can get like tiny buckets of them. So instead of the $15 for 53 grams with a spinner, you can spend $14 and get basically 120 grams. So like almost double the amount.
And I think like some grocery stores and Walmart, they have like the bags of them.
Oh, they have them in Walmart? I'm just looking at Amazon.
Like, Kirby went to, he said he just went to like the grocery store or something and it was at the checkout aisle.
Oh shit. Oh, and there's the spicy ones too. All right.
Oh yeah, the habanero and all those.
Yeah, the Fiery Five. What is it? Habanero, Carolina Reaper, jalapeno, sriracha, and cayenne. The Carolina Reaper would be brutal, probably. From what who was it? I think it was TWA that was telling me. He's like, oh yeah, it's like seriously bad.
Yeah,
like, really, really powerful.
Adam's got the spicy ones on his stream now.
Yeah, fuck. I hope he has to pay extra, or you have to pay extra for that. I hope.
Same price, and he was doing it super cheap for his comeback.
Really? Yeah, I would probably put the spicy ones as slightly more. Okay, so I think we've got everybody. This is it, right? Yeah, because we're missing Kyle and Drew.
Yep.
I think we're set. I think we're ready.
Yep.
Let's play some games. That's right. No. Drew's wife car went crap or something. So he's got to like pick her up. He's not sure if he can show or like it's probably gonna be a thing. And then Kyle's just feeling crappy. So he's under the weather. But I mean that's par for the course. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's do this. We're gonna do this. Let's go to. Let's switch screens here for a sec. Okay. Now, before we get into things, draw a big X over them. That's awesome. Before we get into things, does anyone have any the usual questions, announcements, anything the internet wishes to know?
No, I'm good. I like that. I'm liking that overlay with everybody's pictures there. That's good.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, and I mean, if anyone ever wants to use like webcams or anything at any point, I can easily replace your character picture with a webcam if you want. It's sort of what I was starting to do with Sundays, and will be continuing to do with Sundays as well.
Yeah,
but I can't play naked.
I'm too ugly right now. I'm in full-on like lockdown mode. I haven't shaved in like a month.
Yeah, no, it's good. That's why I have pictures there. You are by no means forced to be on camera. It is more for like special people like BHG and myself that are streamers that are always on camera. So we're kind of used to it anyways.
I can't turn this off. You know, the people need to see it. Yeah.
The ladies need to swoon, or the guys. I'll have guys swoon over me. Fuck, as long as they give me money. All right. The other announcement we'd like to make for the dribbling of people that are in here so far. Saturday, hype train for talking with Adam's birthday. We are doing a hype train. I believe Tay is first. What is her actual Twitch? It's Taylor something 86, isn't it?
Is it Taylor Jane 86? Maybe, possibly.
I do believe so.
Yeah, Tay-Tay's starting us off, and it's a beautiful line of streamers.
Yeah,
including
mine is at 6, I believe. Taylor Jane 182. Thanks, Platt. You're the best. Do it as an actual shout out. That just shouted out me. Hey, join this streamer. Okay. Try that again. There we go. Never mind the other one. All right. Yeah, so that will be starting the, for those that don't know what a hype train is, it is a great way not only for streamers to get their shit out there, but for if you're looking to like watch some new people or whatnot, it's a good way. It's a string of us streaming back to back. We raid into each other's channel when we're done. We only get like a 45-minute time slot. And, you know, we shoot the shit, play some games, do some awesome stuff. And every 45 minutes, we all as a group end up getting raided over to the next stream. You just got to sit there, watch, participate if you want, lurk if you don't want to participate. That's fine. And it's good fun. Starts at whenever it starts at, like 2:30, I think? Something like that.
First one is I've got the poster here. I'm just waiting for it to get bigger. First one is 2 o'clock Eastern. 2
Eastern time. Okay, and I think Talking with Adam's actually going to be streaming before that for a little while, and it's his birthday. So even if you want to pop in before 2 p.m., maybe go to Talking with Adam's channel. I'm assuming he's probably going to raid into Taylor's channel. So that's a good place to start too. But join us. More people, the better. Get the word out. Helps everyone involved. People watching and people streaming. All that good stuff. And with that, I think we are ready to start for the week. Session 3. Let's get into this. Okay, first, we'll do a little bit of a recap. And then we'll get into what the hell we're going to be doing this week. So, previously on The Truth Outside, we once again joined the explorers in the strange angular tunnels beneath the town of Bedrove. It was here that we had focused primarily on the exploration of the tunnels. You found all of the supplies you needed for Benjamin, Sarcodius, and more. You even found a fairly easy source of the synth metal form in the form of a pool of liquid, in the stuff that in liquid form. After coming across an enigmatic artifact within the ruins that vibrated the very air around it and seemed to condense the air that it touched to liquid form, you were able to disable it and salvage it for precious parts. With what you need to finish your task for Benji, you traveled to the town once again and was able to make good on your deal. With the newfound parts, Benji properly introduced more about himself, as well as information that he had for you. Information about a town to the north called Aldir. It is rumored that the leader of Aldir has somehow gained some manner of long life or immortality or something like that. A type of knowledge that the Queen of Aldir is extraordinarily fascinated by and has been known to reward handsomely. A member known as Seeker Sonara within the Order of Truth had been sent a year ago, but communication had been lost with him ever since. Benji tells you that if you can find out what happened to Sonara and gain the information that the Queen would want, that you are basically assured a visit to the capital and a special reward by the Queen. And so you spend some time gathering supplies, mounts, and a wagon, and the equipment needed for your journey. You were also informed by Benji that there is some sort of great Numenera ruins along the way known as the Tokere Pylon. And since you aren't in a great rush, you may want to scout it out on your way to Aldir. That brings us to now. Now, before we get into today's session, let's do a few warm-up questions for your characters. Shall we? I like doing this shit. It's good shit, it's fun. I guess I don't have as many people to ask now, but that's fine. So, starting with Charlie. Charlie here is the first picture you'll see in the upper left. Starting with Charlie, what conflict in your life has been the most memorable?
What conflict in my life has been the most memorable?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my best friend is terrified of technology. That's been a big hurdle to get over, given my passion for it. It wasn't always sunshine and rainbows. People who see us interacting now probably wouldn't even realize the amount of underlying trauma that she has had to face because of the Numenera. And I think in the way of overcoming that guilt that I feel in almost triggering those bad feelings for her and how far we've come, I think that in itself has been a conflict that has been an exciting journey.
Interesting. Okay. the conflict has been with your best friend over her phobia, and how you've dealt with your own views on it. I like that. I like doing this. Gets us to really know our own characters and kind of gets you to, over time, sort of build up your own character as well.
Yeah.
Cyrus, Charlie and Flannery are both telling you two different versions of the truth. Who would you believe?
Oh. That's a tough call. Well, the truth can, I don't know, it can kind of vary person to person. Like, their version might be the way that they see the truth. So, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd ever prefer, like, take the word of one over the other. I just come to the conclusion that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
Okay, all right. Can't really decide. Would assume the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
Truth is often, you know, colored by perception. So
I like it. There's no wrong answer. Once again, it's your own thing. Hey, thanks to the raid, Buddhabot 37. Hell yeah.
That said, coward, pick a side.
Pick a side. I like that. So between
Switzerland,
between Charlie and Flannery, if they had different versions of the truth, you'd say that it's probably an amalgamation of both, which makes sense. I like it. I like it.
Yep.
All right.
Filthy neutrals.
Filthy neutrals. Flannery, question for
sir.
you. Where do you see yourself in 20 years?
Interesting question. I will probably be kicking ass somewhere. I would like eventually, I think eventually I'd like to teach. I would like to teach others about the flora and fauna of Numenera.
Interesting. So you'd like to use the knowledge that you've gained and sort of educate others on it.
Yes. Yes, I think that would be.
Okay.
Great.
I like it.
I was just gonna say, it's like, where do we see ourselves in 20 years? Well, knowing this group of players, probably decomposing somewhere.
Probably, yeah. If the last campaign and the way it ended is any indication, blowing up a fucking university and then like, yeah, we won't get into that.
Probably been dead for the last 19 of those 20 years, and we're rotting away somewhere.
Or accidentally releasing some cosmic horror.
Yeah.
I can't do that whole decomposing thing.
Sure you can. Everything can decompose. Name one thing in the universe that doesn't decompose.
Twinkies.
Diamonds decompose all the time. It takes a lot longer. They can do it.
Even black holes decompose.
Eventually, the heat death of the universe is a thing.
I've got you. Old Nokia brick phones.
Okay, yeah, you've got it. Winner.
I'm 40% Nokia brick phones.
He's made from nothing but Nokias. Okay, I guess we don't need Hawk or Horatio. They're not here. So we're just gonna skip those for now. Lance, describe your current relationship with Max.
Indifferent. He's a walking toaster. It says fancy words and hurts my head. Sometimes I feel like I need to hold him down and beat him to fix him. Like smacking the side of an old TV. Other than that, he's useful. But over there.
Okay. All right. So he's too big of words, doesn't know what the hell he's got. Like, you don't know what the hell he's saying half the time. But
broken.
He can be useful. He's got his things. You don't necessarily want to be always interacting with them. I get it. Okay. All right. Max, going to you. What's your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve?
Yeah.
That would be My biggest pet peeve, it's not so much a pet peeve as just an issue I'm having where I will say something and it seems like it's the correct thing to say, but I have no context for why that is. And that's causing quite a bit of communication difficulties with other people. And because I'm already off-putting enough with the whole uncanny valley thing going on when I don't have my mask on, it's problematic to my ability to interact with others.
So the fact that your words are technically the right words to the right learned and or bookish people, perhaps, but definitely not to the small town folk that you have existed beside, so to speak.
And half the time,
oxidation.
And half the time, like, I'll say the word and I won't actually know exactly what it means. I'll just know that it's the right thing to say, as I'm having errors in my memory.
All right.
That's definitely oxidation.
Possibly.
Rust on the brain.
Some of the gum got out of his eye hole and then snuck its way into the processor.
Yeah, all right, gumball.
You're a gumball machine. All right. Sorry.
You dare attack my maintenance skills?
No, gum's a really good adhesive. I just love the idea of an eyeball being held in place with gum.
No, I'm talking about Flannery and the implication that there be anything wrong inside Max. That is well sealed, okay? No oxidation there.
I think there's a hamster running around in a wheel continuously in my chest cavity.
I love it.
Just open up nuclear hamster. That's what the freaking artificial android is. It's awesome.
Well, every good RPG needs a Minx and Boo reference, so.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm for it. Let's go.
Our Lady of Perpetual Motion.
Let's fucking do it. All right. Okay, so with that, we have gotten our RP questions out of the way. We have done our recap. Welcome everyone back to The Truth Outside, our Numenera campaign. For those just joining in for the first time, Numenera is, of course, Earth 1 billion years in the future. Humanity has only re-arose, they don't know, because they don't know shit, like 1,000 years ago. Has about medieval level technology, but thing is there was like 1 billion years of civilization that happened before this, so there's all this leftover super science bullcrap that's kind of on the Earth despite them having this like medieval society, and that's where we are. So with that we get into our introduction now. When we had left off, you guys had gotten everything that you needed: wagon, mounts, equipment, everything, and you were on your way out of town. Let me bring up the map here, a quick one. I tried to preload it for you guys as well if you do need to see the map at any point. So you were heading from the town of Bodrov, and you were heading up to a place called Aldir. And on the way, there was the Tokere pylon that you could stop at. Pretty much you're stopping at it one way or another because it's like directly on your way there. Whether you do anything with it on your way is completely up to you, but that's where it is going to bring us. So I will do our little intro here and we'll get into this. First of all, I'm going to change the music here to I think I was going to change it to dark. Oh no, rainy. Okay, you'll get music in a moment or so. It'll take a second to buffer. All right. For the better part of 2 days, you have now traveled. When you first set out, the late spring sky was sunny and bright, and you were all ready and feeling good about your first real adventure in life. Your first times away from Bodrov, traveling the land and discovering the world around you. A day and a half later, as the sheets of chilled rain pound against your face and the mud plucks at your boots, you almost wish for nothing more than a warm, dry bed. The trees around you are sparse and scattered in clumps, with the terrain being uneven and difficult at best. The wheels of the wagon are stuck. Again. What sort of counts as a path is little more than a semi-cleared game trail that looks to have been rarely traveled. Patience is thin. Tempers are high, and the rumbling of your bellies, at least for those of you that can eat, announce it as more than time for your noonday meal. You free your wagon, although a groaning and cracking sound from below concerns you slightly. Thankfully, you see the immense Numenera structure not far off, and a telltale trail of smoke from what you is hopefully some sort of camp or settlement near its base. At the very least, fire means warmth. As you trudge through the muck and grass, finally making it past the copse of trees that block your view, you see what seems to be a semi-permanent camp of tents and a few shoddily made wooden structures that obviously weren't meant to last. As you approach the massive structure, floating within some sort of canyon, the fog that surrounds most of the floating pylon is suddenly blasted away with a massive sound. Trees shake and wildlife scatters. For a brief moment, it even stopped raining before a sheet of oddly warmed water once again plummets upon your heads from the sky. You have found the Torquari pylon. And that's where we are right now. What you doing?
Holy shit, that's tall.
Oh shit my pants.
Oh, honey.
That was fucking frightening.
That is
what the magnitude of decibels?
a sight to behold.
What? That was fucking loud.
That is a sight to behold.
He said it looks nice!
And in case you want to see it, you should be able to see at least some of the things for the Torquari pylon here.
I see all.
Hopefully it hid the appropriate parts right. You don't see like the delving notes and stuff.
Nope, we just see the couple of
excellent
few lines of description.
So, Sucker's massive. It floats 150 meters above the ground, but since it's floating in a canyon, the bottom of it is pretty close to where you are level-wise. The Sucker's 600 meters tall, or about 2,000 feet for those that need freedom units. Which is pretty big. It's like a 200-story tall apartment building.
Yeah.
It's pretty big, yeah. Yeah.
That would be very intimidating to watch.
My advice programming suggests that you do not look down.
Charlie is already barfing off the side, as they did in fact look off the side.
All right. So you're you get in the wagon to go along, and you hear like a whisper from someone on the side, be like, "Oh, don't look down, dude," and you're like, "Don't look." Whoa,
How far away is the monolith from the cliff edge?
Not too terribly far away. It does look like there is some sort of rickety synth metal scaffolding that actually connects the monolith to the cliff edge where that little camp is set up.
Oh, looks maybe people have been here before.
There's people actively here.
Oh.
Possibly.
There does seem to be a sheltered campfire. Even in this pouring rain, the campfire is going because there's a roof bit over it just to keep the rain off of it, as well as some sort of drying shelter near the tents so that you can sit in the rain. You do see, even at this distance, you're getting closer and closer now, you see some mounts, including a Bocacho that's probably from Bedrove. And yes, for copyright purposes, that's Bocacho. Big bird mount. And as well as a few other, a couple other different types of mounts. One of those neon cyan looking camel things. I forget the name of them already. And there's a couple of people there as well.
Okay. I want to get out of the rain. It's cold, it's miserable, and Bocachokes need some rest. I don't think young Flannery there will like us riding the boat chokes to death.
I will not be happy, but I'm not happy now because I'm wet and I'm miserable and I'm hungry.
Me too. Let's see if this small little place has food.
Yeah. Yep, I'm assuming most of the way here it's been Hawk and Flannery doing some hunting for our food as we go along.
You've had rations as well, but I mean, rations, they're not made to be pleasant. They're made to keep you alive. So...
Yeah.
Cold hardtack and nutrient paste.
Oh, fuck, what was that called? It's like, you made it in, oh my god, I can't think of it. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Healing grubs?
Some sort of bio paste. We'll get there. Okay, so you guys decide to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as Charlie's like wiping their mouth, they look over at Lance and be like, don't look down there. Don't look down there.
And the canyon's like this crevice that you see, it's deep. It's very deep. Like you're guessing it's well, I mean it hovers, what is it, 150 meters off the ground, so the canyon's about 150 meters deep.
How's that compare to like the overhang that would have been our mountain home?
Bedrove?
Yeah.
Let us see. Bedrove. Yes, if Bedrove was on the bottom of this canyon, your town would be about where you're standing. Like all of Bedrove could fit in the canyon.
Oh, wow.
I'm guessing you didn't spend much time looking over the edge there either.
You probably stayed in the middle.
Yeah. Who has time to look over things when you're too busy like tinkering inside of things?
And
or throwing up.
Yeah.
From what he mentioned, he tried not to like leave the top very often. So then have to take that awful thing down. So with that, you are approaching the camp. You finally get up there. They easily, like I said, there's not a ton of trees in the area. It's not fully plains, but there's only like small bits of trees here and there and some bushes and whatnot. So they easily see you approaching as you're coming. It's the only thing that gives you any sort of cover or masks you in any way is just the pouring sheets of rain that are coming down upon you. All right. Yeah. As you approach, a man, he's wearing like a sort of like a thick leather apron of some kind that seems to have blood on it. He's got blood on a knife that he seems to be cleaning off at the moment. He's the one that kind of steps forward as you approach and he goes, "Hi there, how's it going?"
Hello, outsider.
We're doing...
Outsider. You're the one that's come to me. You're the outsider.
Well, we're currently outside, aren't we?
Oh, please. I'm hungry. I'm cold. I'm wet. Is there some place where we can seek shelter and dry off and get something to eat? Please?
Well, you don't look like bandits. So, yeah, come on. Under the roof here. I mean, we don't have the most amount of room, but we've got enough. Especially for the next hour. All the scientists and researchers won't be back for a bit. So, yeah, stay. Dry off for a bit. It's getting to be late afternoon after all. It'd be good to get off your feet, I guess. As for food, we can share, but only if you've got something to trade for it.
I'm going to hate
Don't talk. Follow him into where it's warm.
I hate doing this so much. I'm going to first look and say, so this is some form of research facility?
Oh, I mean, we're sort of the support staff, except for Naomi over there. She's injured, so she couldn't go back in today. I'm the cook, actually. We just kind of supporting the researchers and the scientists that work for the Order of Truth that are here doing their shit.
I happen to have. I mean, do you accept shins for food?
We'll take shins for sure.
Okay.
Lead on, sir. Lead on.
Tell you what, I don't want to charge you an arm and a leg. Just to say that we charged you something for like 1 shin for each of you that we're feeding.
Okay.
So that looks like what? 6 of you? He looks at Max quizzically. 7 of you?
6.
I do not require sustenance.
6 of you. Okay. I didn't realize you had one of them pets, bots, things, automatons.
Yeah, he's obedient when he wants to be.
Can we not talk about our friend like he's some kind of object? This is our friend. This is Max.
No, that's your friend.
Fine.
That is a go-around toaster.
Oh,
This is my friend Max.
a group with
I don't believe I've ever listened to
issues.
anything.
And Fetch can look after himself.
Right. Now you've seen one of them buggers before, although he's a wee one, isn't he? He's barely comes up to my waist.
He may be wee, but he's mighty.
Why, I bet when he's full grown, he'll near be able to jump all the way to the pylon there from the edge.
We live in hope.
All right, come and sit. I got some stew just starting. It'll be ready within the hour. It's set to be ready by the time the researchers come back from their daily shenanigans. With that, there's basically like carved logs for sitting on. There's a couple of really good chairs, but you have a feeling they're kind of reserved. They're like not for you. But there are some carved logs. It looks like they've entertained quote unquote people before. There's probably merchants, traders, maybe other scientists that come in and out. It definitely doesn't look like this is like a permanent settlement of any kind. Everything is very ramshackle or temporary in nature.
Can we still see the cook while he's cooking, or?
Oh yeah, it's all basically open tents. So like the cook area is just like a big pavilion tent, and it's got like the flap towards the fire open, and he's got like a table there that looks like he's been butchering stuff and like chopping up vegetables, and then there's a big pot over the fire that he comes over once in a while and just like empties things into.
So what's with the fancy tower? What is like? I'm assuming you guys been here for a while.
It's always a bit of a rotating thing. I mean, everyone would love to go to the Amber Monolith or the temple or the obelisk of the water god, or one of the similar ones like this. Assuming you even know about those things. But those ones tend to be. Navarine's got 3 of them in total.
3 of them.
Yeah, there's this one, which honestly, people, I don't know why, but I haven't really explored as much as the other ones. The closest one is the Amber Monolith, but of course that one's got its garrison at the bottom, and no one's allowed to go in that one. Hasn't in hundreds of years. I dare say the last person that really explored it was like thoroughly was probably the first Amber Pope all those hundreds of years ago. Other than that, I'd say the Temple of the Water God's similar, but it's way the fuck over there by the mountains, and it's not easy to get to.
So people are capable of entering it, though.
This one. The other 2 are kind of difficult. I'm not sure if people can, but this one's special because we found a way in it. We've just within the last, I'd say, year and a half. We found a way into the side, built ourselves this mighty fine structure here, and every day, well, approximately, we get to go in it for a little while.
And how was the person you designated as Naomi injured?
She actually speaks up. I can speak for myself. Like right here. We're all right here. I didn't exit quite quickly enough when it started back up. And she like pulls away a blanket, and you see that half of her has some pretty extensive burns. It looks like there's some sort of like a purplish salve that's been spread over them, and it seems to be alleviating it in some way, but she does have pretty extensive burns in like one half of her body.
So what are you guys getting from this place? Like, why are you so eager to go into it every day?
are you focusing more on like who are you speaking to in the camp at this point?
Just either one. Like I'm kind of looking back between the cook and the one that just spoke up.
The cook just kind of shrugs. He's like, I don't fucking know. Whereas the Naimian goes, oh well, I mean, the thing we would with any Numenera ruin or installation like this. I mean, aside from the Numenera we're able to salvage from it, which is worth, shall we say, quite a bit. I mean, the sheer research of learning about the ancients and past peoples and about the supernatural phenomenons that go out in these places. I mean, the knowledge itself. That's why I joined the Order of Truth. It's why I am still very much a novice Aeon priest, but I hope to gain my full status after I do a thesis after studying here for a while.
Your motivation equals noble.
Lance immediately turns to Charlie and be like, "We're not going in."
What do you mean? Of course we're going in.
I've gone in over 170 times now. This last time was entirely my fault. I knew the hour was almost up, and I stayed that couple of minutes too long.
What kept you?
Curiosity, stupidity. There was a machine I'd found that just looked interesting. It had some sort of display screen thing to it, a little arm thing, and it looked like it was interactable in some way, and I was so busy with it that I just lost track of time. I had a little fuse thing I had used as a timer, and I didn't even realize that it had already burnt out.
Okay,
Charlie is salivating.
Let's assume, because Lance is looking at Charlie, just like drooling at this. Let's assume some young, dumb adventurers go in there for the first time. What can we expect?
And by the way, I will preface that there's two other people in camp right now. One of them seems to be tending to the mounts. There's two other women actually. One of them seems to be, or women-ish. It's hard to tell sometimes. One seems to be tending to the mounts. The other one seems to be just like moving supplies around. So you're guessing one is sort of like the teamster. The other one's probably like the laborer or general person of the camp to maintain it. These two are the main ones interacting with you right now.
I just wanted to take a quick look at Naomi. What's her name?
Yes.
At her bandage, her dressing, make sure it's doing the trick.
Sure.
Changing it all, because I am trained in medical stuff.
Yeah, that would be intellect based, of course.
Yeah.
I have aloe in my backpack if you need it.
All right. Well, it's a good thing you were trained in it. Helped it a little bit. I mean, you didn't need to roll incredibly high. You're just checking the bandages.
Yeah, I'm just making sure it's still doing good. That it doesn't need changing yet or anything.
The bandages themselves, you imagine, wouldn't normally be doing much in this situation. You have no idea what this purple goo is that's all over her. But it does seem to be helping. You actually see parts that you're pretty sure were previously burned that have already healed.
Okay, cool.
This purple stuff, does it also act as an analgesic? Do you feel pain?
I'm not sure what an analgesic is, but it helps to alleviate pain, yes. It alleviates pain, it helps to get rid of the burns, and of course it helps to fight it helps to cleanse my humors so that I may not get an infection.
Do you make this stuff here?
No, we have harvested it from within the tower, actually.
Oh,
Sounds most useful.
that I would be very interested in having a look at some of that, if it's possible for me to see.
We do not have a lot of it left. I had hoped they may find some more today, but yes, I've got a pot of it here, and she'll pull it out. She'll open it up. It kind of looks like Vaseline, except that it's purple, and it has almost a sulfuric smell to it. Not pleasant.
Oh, like honey.
Doesn't smell like honey or peppermint.
If they find more of it, I would be very interested perhaps in working for some or purchasing some.
Oh, yes. You could definitely speak with the others about it. For sure.
Thank you.
Yes, I would most definitely like to take a look into this obelisk myself. It seems like a most intriguing place.
Lance, did you, before I had gotten sidetracked explaining more of the camp, did you ask something? I got sidetracked.
Oh yes, I asked like what could like a group of young dumb adventurers going in for the first time, what could we expect?
Oh yes. Well, like all Numenera ruins, I mean, it's massive, and I mean, no one ever really knows what these things were created for. Expect the unexpected? I mean, heat is your biggest enemy, of course. Things cool down for that hour to make it so that you can survive in there. That's what the big noise was, of course. You have about an hour, after which it starts back up, and you've got about 25 hours or so until it does one of those cooldown processes again. Needless to say, it's not entirely a day. It's once every 26-hour period, and of course, a day is 28 hours long.
Are there any areas that remain like safe or cool within the structure that can be hidden in for that time period if somebody were to get stuck?
They are few and far between. And one time we got to what we thought was supposed to be a cooled section, and it was no longer a cooled section. I don't know if they rotate or it broke down. It is difficult at best to locate such places. I have heard of people being stuck in there and surviving the entire period within one of these cooled rooms, but it's almost luck of the draw if you find one.
Have any of you mapped out your explorations, and if so, is there any record of those mappings here?
Mapping's difficult. I can try to give you a map of sort of what we call the main arterial system. Unfortunately, the near as we can tell, the entire thing is one large machine, and parts of it restructure or reassemble itself on a regular basis for whatever grand machination it was designed for.
Think of a three-dimensional maze that shifts around on you.
Ah, yes, very good.
Out of game, I'm currently just in my head pictured a cross between Maze Runner and the movie Cube.
Cube? Yeah.
Cube Runner.
Cube Runner.
What's the pattern to these changes?
Our leader, Neville, has been attempting to make sense of this. One of his fortes is mathematics, the advanced mathematics. So far, we've been unable to do anything more than map the primary arterial structure, which does occasionally reroute itself, but that we seem to be able to figure out. Thus, if you can always make it back to one of the arterial bits, you can find your way out easily enough.
May I have a look at that mapping?
Yeah, here, allow me. We've got nothing but time. I dare say if you want to enter this, you'll be here with us for the next day. As it's too late to enter now.
Yeah. Are too risky.
Yeah.
If they would allow, Charlie would like to make a rough sketch copy of that mapping, and would also kind of, in their own experience of Numenera, kind of observe what they're seeing and see if maybe they can, I don't know, decipher like maybe glean something that the research crew may not from having like a different frame of mind.
Okay, all right. So I would say that would be Numenera, the knowledge one.
Okay.
Intellect based, of course.
Yep.
Might based. I'm gonna muscle my way through knowledge.
And I'm going to apply a level of effort to that as well.
Okay.
So I just need to remember how to do that. That'd be what, ease by 1?
There should be a thing for applying a level of effort there that'll make it cost.
At the top, I believe.
Pool effort to ease task.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got it.
There we go. And then just roll.
good roll.
That's a really good roll.
Very good roll. Okay, very good. Very
Not
good.
too shabby, not at all.
Yeah, got to get ourselves out of the D&D mindset. I'm like, that's not that high. No, wait, in Cipher that is that high because there's no pluses. No, that is really good, actually. Really good. So first of all, she actually will draw you a copy of the map personally anyways. It looks like she's doing a lot of it off of memory, sort of by rote at this point. She doesn't have to stop and think about it at any point, so you're guessing that she has done this. She's got this place like fairly well memorized, and also during points of it, it's not that she's trying to remember, but you think she's kind of mathematically figuring out where the tunnel should be rather than doing it off of memory. And you roll high enough that you are also starting to glean the mathematics. In fact, as she talks to you about it a bit, you're able to actually sort of pick up on it a little bit. That you realize that it's almost like this branching fractal pattern, and you realize that there's a method to the madness. It looks completely random at first until you realize that there is like an equation that could be applied to it, and there's just one variable number that they've sort of calculated out what changes every time, and that's what causes the at least the core tunnels to change. All the other stuff is just big old question marks, but the as they call the arterial tunnels follow this equation.
Okay, yeah, I'll be like, may I for a second, like take her pencil and kind of like in spots where there might be question marks, I'm gonna look and maybe like draw like a couple like pathways. Like theoretically, then these might be adjoining chambers potentially. If you're correct that this is a rotating system.
Most likely, yes. I mean, near as we can tell. Best as we can tell.
Are there any kind of indicators that you can think of for what you've thought of as safe zones?
Well, the lighting is always dramatically different. You'll be able to mark that immediately. Everything, aside from the fact that it's still cooling. The lighting in there is very warm in color. Some areas completely absent of anything but the red spectrums. Whereas the rooms that are livable, shall we say, maybe not the most comfortable, but livable, are much more in the cooler tones. Possibly to signal what it's for, maybe as a byproduct. We have not yet figured this out. Intent is never a easy thing to figure out with such ancient installations as this.
Gang, I know you're not gonna like hearing this, but I think I can figure this out.
Oh boy. Now don't get me wrong, I don't doubt your ability. I just don't trust that fucking floating thing out there.
I know.
I'm going to take a look over the map and the equations and see if it parses for me as well.
Yeah, roll an intellect for me as well. I'll Numenera knowledge as well if you want to apply, if you have such a thing.
Can I aid him with the knowledge that I know now?
Yes, yeah, ease the task by one since you already have a buddy helping you out.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You and me, Max, thick as thieves.
So I go Ep.3's task 1 level and then difficulty ease by 1?
Yes, yeah. And that should ease it by 2 in total.
Yeah.
3x plus 1 raise.
Oh! So like, you start to guide him at first, you even correct him a couple of times, and then it's all of a sudden like something just snaps into place. And suddenly he's like drawing a couple extra areas you couldn't even figure out.
Yes!
You can start predictapathing it.
Guys, we can do this.
I believe we can, yes.
No, there's definitely still a little bit of soap left in that water.
I will say it's a good thing that I got this since I'm also the party's navigator. So.
Well, yeah, with a 19, fuck, man. Oh, that's good.
Yep.
Max. Charlie is going to pat you on the back and look at the rest of the group and be like, between the two of us, not only do I think we can get us through this safely, I think we can figure out what this thing is.
The error in looking at this map is looking at it as a 2- or 3-dimensional object where it exists in 4 dimensions.
Good job, Gumball.
At least 4. Possibly 5.
Oh, I dare say I believe everyone is going to be returning now.
That brings me to my next question. How does your group feel about outsiders going into the monolith?
Oh, feels very good about it. If you actually return, I dare say we'll learn a thing or two. We do not have... There's more than enough here to keep us embroiled within this for a lifetime. We do not worry about other people stealing some of the spotlight, as so to speak.
I wasn't sure if you were all on the squatters' rights kind of thing.
No, it is fine. There are obviously Numenera installations out there that are like that. This is more than enough for us, for generations probably, to experience.
I imagine the close window and the inherent dangers in missing it also means that there's a certain level of attrition to which throwing more bodies at the problem becomes expeditious.
Well, if you think about it, we have 365 hours, maybe less actually, making sure we get in and out. Probably closer to like 320 hours a year we get to actually study it.
Yeah, that's not a heck of a lot.
This may sound crass to ask, but what is it worth to your expedition team if I could make it possible that you could be in there longer?
Everything. I dare say Neville would trade just about anything. He has spent a good fraction of his life trying to unlock the mysteries of this tower. It was him that found the way in. It was him that erected the bridge to it. It was him that basically made all of this happen.
I imagine even a couple minutes might save lives in the long run.
Are you computing some sort of device to beat the heat, as it were?
I think if we can understand a little bit more of what this thing is from the inside, with your knowledge, my knowledge, and the knowledge from these researchers, we could not only exploit the safe zones, but figure out how they work, and yes, make some kind of mobile device that could keep them alive. I agree. I think that, yes, absolutely. It's a great idea.
Ah, yes, here they are returning now. And with that, what's that, sorry?
I said I glance over.
With that, you see 3 figures crossing the bridge coming back to the camp. Two lab-coated scientists, one sort of androgynous, just it's a person, that's all you can tell. Another one clearly much more feminine in nature, and then another person that's clad in tubes and leather and everything, pretty much head to toe. Think somewhere between like a deep sea diver's outfit and like Darth Vader, like some sort of like contained system that he's within. And they finally come back. The individual within the suit, there's like a whirring sound and a hissing sound and sort of like a high-pitched whining sound that comes out every once in a while. And as they're approaching, Naomi points and goes, the one in the suit there is Neville.
Excellent.
What's with the suit?
I dare say he was the first injury.
Charlie will walk up and, like, almost nervously meeting somebody in the field who, like, this isn't a common occurrence from where they come from, right?
No.
Like, this is their first time, like, really, like, meeting somebody who's, like,
yeah, although Bodrove itself is technically a Numenera installation, no one goes in it. Like this, as a general rule in that village, no one is curious about the shit down below. And even then, for the most part, there hasn't been a lot that's happened with it, so.
Yeah. It's almost like a really nervous student on the first day of school for, like, a revered professor is just like, hi, I'm Charlie. Nice to meet you.
He actually walks past you without even recognizing that you're there, before going over to like get a bowl of stew. Finally, the individual known as Neville looks over at Naomi and you hear the,
"Who are these people? What do they want?"
Yes, sir. They appear to be interested in entering.
Yeah, I do not. Fine. To the deaths may it be. All of you, I hope you live a while.
We think we can solve your problem.
Sir, look at this. And she motions forward, like on the table, like the map that you and Max had been working on. And he looks over and finally looks up at you, and you hear the,
"Who did this?"
I've raised my hand.
Both of them, really. The automaton and the tinkerer, I guess. I see.
The name's Charlie again. And you were Neville, that's right?
That is correct, yes. I'm Neville.
I've never seen Numenera like this, but we do a lot of tinkering where we come from, and I think something about this feels familiar. I think if we get inside and can actually have a good look at a working safe zone, we might be able to replicate a way that you can use it mobily.
This seems intriguing. I like this. Very well. I mean, we would not stand in your way, but tomorrow is supposed to be our day of rest. Do you need anything else if you were to enter anytime soon? Will you be staying with us?
That's up to the group.
Well, it sounds like y'all are going home and going into this shiny tower thing, so I guess we'll be staying a while.
I do not want to speak for Flannery over there, but our mounts, I suppose, could use tending to while we're inside.
Free reign Bocatros.
Yeah, not a problem. Lois, tend to their Bocachos, will you? And you hear in the background, "Boy, hey, okay. Bocachos came here." And this, like, rather large, buff, ginger lady, very hair closely cropped to her head, takes your mounts and untethers them from the wagon and just, like, brings them under. It looks like they have a special, like, awning set up for the mounts. Well, you can stay with us. Is there anything you need from us for the delvings? I mean, I dare say you're probably on your own. We're exhausted. We had a close call today.
With the map and our workings of it here, maybe just research notes if you have any on your delves so far, so that we have something to work off of if we cannot take a guide with us.
Yes, well, the ruins we do not closely guard, but my research notes, I can give you pointers, but I'm not ready to share them. I hope you understand.
Charlie will like grab a pencil and like start writing in between like the gaps of the map, saying anything that you can tell us, I can just keep on here.
The summer is approaching for the seasons. I'm sure you understand. As such, the demons inside are stirring. It seems to be a thing. They become less active in the winters and more active in the summers.
The nature of these demons?
I mean, demonic, fiery creatures, smell of the underworlds, that type of thing. Extreme heat. They themselves seem to produce a remarkable amount of it. I would steer clear of them if you see them, if you can. Even being near them is difficult at best.
Can you describe what they look like? So we know what to recognize.
Vaguely humanoid in some ways, like us. less distinctive features. He's superheated is all I can basically say. Almost like has anyone described to you what happens to rock when it becomes greatly heated? It can actually, I don't know if you know this, it can turn into almost a liquid substance. Very I've never heard a name for it, but yes, the hot rocks, very much like that.
I call it rock pudding.
Rock pudding, yes, rock pudding creatures, very much like that.
I haven't heard the name before either. It just popped into my head.
As you said with your pet peeve. Damn it, Max. Yes. Other than that, we don't think we're alone in there, and we don't mean the demons. They, in true demonic fashion, do not seem to want anything other than wanton destruction. They don't create, they don't speak, nothing like this. But we have noticed things, sometimes after a burn, tools that have charred and whatnot because they were left in improper places, but primitive tools, scratchings, even sometimes once or twice we think we found artwork within the walls, very primitive scratches upon the walls, that type of thing.
Interesting.
And some of them have been in places we've been in previously. That is how we know they are not just ancient scratchings.
Any idea on these creatures' behaviors, like right before the cooldown ends?
We've never witnessed them directly. We do not know.
Okay.
They could be ravaging hostiles for all we know, or they could be peacefuls, or maybe it's just random. Maybe it's automatons. We have no idea.
What kind of temperatures are we looking at inside? Coolest to hottest.
Oh, temperatures. Ooh. Well, synth metal will survive, although I dare say if you've gotten some of the standard steel or iron implements, it approaches their melting temperatures.
Charlie will look back at the team a little nervously and look forward and say, okay, I understand that you're tired. I think that this delve will be beneficial for all of us, but I need your help.
Yes.
I told you I had an idea. I have something that may be able to help. And I'm going to pull out the canister that contains the frigid wall projector Cipher.
Oh, shit. Okay. Interesting.
And say, the way this works now, I can make a wall of sorts that keeps things cool.
Mm-hmm.
What if instead we can adapt this technology to make a temporary dome, like a heat shield?
That would be a lifesaver, literally.
I have some parts, but I'm still young in what I know, and limited in what I know. If anybody here is any kind of researcher or tinkerer in that area that can help, I think we can make something that we can test when we go in.
I myself am fairly experienced in crafting and modifying the Numenera. Normally, of course, Numenera being such arcane artifacts from the ancients, we are better at adapting what already exists, but repurposing is within the realm of theoretical possibility, yes. It could take work, unless you find something that could accelerate a seed of plans of some kind. I dare say that with this, we could find something, but it could take years.
I look at Max.
Yes.
What do you think, big guy?
I think that we can at least attempt to see if the theory is possible, if not create a actual prototype. We would just need access to a workshop and tools.
Well, we do not have much of a workshop here. The closest town that has one, I dare say, is Bedrove. Although I have not been there myself. When I had my accident, I thankfully had a set of return Numenera with me. I was able to make it all the way back to Charmond, which saved my life.
And what distance to the town of Eldir?
Sorry, what was that?
What distance to the town of Eldir?
To Eldir? Never heard of it.
I double-checked my map.
According to your map, Eldir should be probably a few more days north of here.
Alright.
Yeah, you're guessing 2.5 days.
Well, perhaps Eldir will have a workshop that we can utilize.
What do I need to create the instant workshop cipher?
What do you need? Let's take a peek here. Helps if I look at your equipment.
The plan just says the cipher can be made from level 3 to level 9 and cost the appropriate amount.
Yeah, okay. Let me bring it up here then. That would be in the wrong book. 1 second. That would be in Destiny, not Discovery. And we can find that in. I am so glad I wrote these page numbers down for this shit. Where is it? GM reference pages. Here we are. Crafting charts. 17. Here we are. Okay, so artifact. So difficulty is 3 plus the level of the artifact. Time is crafting it is Cipher's artifacts. Probably take you a better part of a week to craft it. And cost, as soon as I find it here. Numenera. No, let's new ones. Crafting, please. Salvaging and crafting. Thank you. Where was the shit? Oh, plans. It's under plans. Here we are. Artifact and Cipher plans. GM plan creation. Here we go. Okay, so if you're doing bare minimum, that would be level 3. You're looking at 3 units of IO, 12 units of responsive synth, 4 units of synth steel, and 2 units of pliable metal.
Sorry, that was 3 IO?
3 IO, 12 responsive synth, four synth steel, and 2 pliable metal.
And I knew I saw them before, the crafting tables. If you go into compendiums, character options, and rules, there's a crafting artifacts section with that table.
Oh, nice. Did I already put that in there?
Yep.
Am I that smart?
That's the thing.
I already did that?
There's the compendiums, character option rules, and then there's a few. There's one for crafting artifacts, one for crafting ciphers.
I can't believe I already did that, and then I forgot I put that in there. Rules.
It's like I remember seeing this before. Where was it?
Oh, I did already do the work for that. Thank you, past me. And of course, you can, if you have a part type that's of equal or higher level, you can always swap things out. It doesn't have to be that exact part type. So if you have something equal to or higher level than, say, synth steel, you can use that instead.
So for instance, like if I need a replacement for pliable metal because it's the only material I don't have.
Pliable metal. Get the chart of where all this shit is. Iotum. Oh, pliable metal is a level 4 item. I guess I gotta get that chart in there for you. So it's not that high, all things considered. So the only things under it are synth steel, biocircuitry, apt clay, response synth, and IO. Yeah. You have thom dust, don't you?
I was just gonna say, so for instance, I could trade out thom dust.
Yeah, thom dust is a level 6 crafting material, so that easily replaces it.
I have everything to make an instant workshop.
Oh fuck.
So I could, with enough time, we could have a workshop set up here.
Hydrate. Or hydrate. Yeah, and I would, since you're only delving for like an hour at a time, you could easily just spend the rest of your time crafting that. If you wanted to spend the next like week here.
Yeah, I mean, again, like it's up to what the group wants to do. I can do that. I think it'll be beneficial for them, and in the end, it'll be beneficial for us because we should be able to find a lot more in there.
And I will remind you, you were told that the shit with Aldir, I mean, they lost contact with the guy over a year ago, so it's not like it's like pressing, you need to be there today.
Charlie,
I don't have a problem with it because we need the rest. And while you guys are doing the crafting and the making and all that good stuff, I can hunt and augment supplies here.
Okay. Yeah, I think Charlie is super eager to delve into a place that they've never delved into before, but at the same time is very hesitant to get the group into a situation that they might not be able to get out of without a backup plan.
Yeah.
So I think like the logical Charlie would kick in and say, if we're going to attempt to adapt this into a shield that we're going to test, we need to do that first before we go inside.
Okay, well, if you are committing to make a work area for them, like an instant workshop, which like once you make it, I mean, like it's here, like you can't move it after. So you're basically giving them a workshop. So not only are they giving you all the information they can, but they're going to give you a little something extra here too, because there is no fucking reason they wouldn't. So, 1 second here. It's still under... I gotta find there you are. It's here, inventory. Yep. Drag it out here. Okay, so I will put it in your party pot, which is somewhere. There it is.
You know, Charlie, whenever I go to a place that's new, I just mark Lance was here, but you just drop a frickin' workshop.
Yeah,
is this your calling card?
It will be.
It's a really expensive call.
Scientists help each other. This helps us just as much as it helps them. The more we understand all of this, the longer and better we thrive and the better we survive.
Okay, they are giving you, it's now in your party pot, they are giving you 7 doses, quote unquote, of the goo that she's covered in.
Hey.
It's called Amber Scion Goo. It is a purple gelatinous coating that not only assists you with healing with burns, but it gives you 10 points of armor against any sort of fire damage. As long as you're covered in the goo, and it lasts for 28 hours when it's applied.
Well, that will give us some measure of safety while testing out the device.
Yep. Thank you. I know how valuable this is, but thank you.
He like points at the stuff that you just start unloading on the ground to like, and he's like, I know how valuable that is. You have anything from us that you need. Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah. It's gonna take you the better part of a week to put this together. Actually, I'm gonna say it's gonna take you about 3 days. I don't like how long the crafting times in this system are. I'm honestly gonna shorten them.
Yeah.
I think 3 days for making like an instant workshop thing is more than adequate. Technically it's supposed to be 8 days for a level 3, but I'm like, but whatever.
Before they even start, Charlie's gonna like pat Max on the face and be like, if my baby boy needs a workshop, he gets a workshop.
Fuck.
We're going to work.
He's my little baby automaton.
On the subject of shortening the crafting times, probably a good time to say that Max is actually 40% 3D printer.
3D printer. Yeah. All right.
Actually, here's development 40 printer. I can print Tesseract.
So with that, let's jump ahead a little bit here. So you and Max are probably going to be, because I'm assuming Max is going to help you with this endeavor. So that you end up, when you finally make the roll, it's going to be eased. So I'm assuming you and Max are going to be working on this project while you're waiting to enter the ruins the next day. Is, aside from tending mounts, getting stuff out, maybe setting up your own little camp and stuff, is anyone doing anything special or in particular that we need to look at, or should we just fast forward?
No, I figure like Lance is just hanging around to like there if like they need something heavy moved or something like that.
Are we going to need to build our own shelter? Or can we utilize a shelter that's already there for us to sleep in? I mean, if we're going to be there for a week, we're going to need a place to stay.
They've got, you've got the wagon, which a couple people can sleep in if they need to. And then there's the shelters here. They can easily expand them. They'll provide you shelter, especially with what you're giving them. They've got extra people here that are just support staff, basically, so they will do nothing but create shelter for you over the next day or whatever.
Yeah.
So you'll have that.
Make us beds.
I'm going to be spending my time just going over the existing maps and any notes they're willing to share, Numenera-wise.
He's still a little guarded on some of his research notes, but I mean, you figure
whatever
that's,
he's willing to give us.
But for the most part, like, they'll show you the maps because they've got like a stack of them because it's always changing. So you can kind of see the progression over time. At first, it seems completely random. You can kind of get a gleaning of it if Max and Charlie kind of describe or try to explain it to you. It's still tough, but you can kind of get a gleaning where they're going along with it.
Well, let's see what I can do on my own.
Oh, fuck. Or you can completely understand it completely and just be like, oh, yeah, no, I get it.
Make it up yourself.
Please stop.
Because I'm the one that's actually trained in Numenera knowledge in this party.
It's true. Can you guys please stop scientist-splaining it to me?
Like, yeah, I know, I got this.
Yeah. Well, if you carry the E, I get it. Sigma pi and then the E, I get it.
It's like, I tried that, but this formula is more efficient.
Cyrus, with that, I forgot about your Numenera knowledge. Why not have a look at the map as well?
Yeah, it's like, it's the crafting that I'm just practicing, but the knowledge I'm trained in.
Yeah, you just go over and you're like, that's pretty good. He erases one number and redraws a different number. That's better. So yeah, no, you totally understand it as well. So there's at least 3 of you in the party that innately would know how to find your way out, assuming you were able to find yourself to one of like the main arterials of the place. Which is what the benefit of that provides. Is there anything else that you guys want to do, or shall we fast forward some exciting bits?
The magic RP fast forward button.
All right, I think we're good.
Yeah, fast forward. I'm just gonna step away to grab water. I will be right back.
Okie doke. All right. You know what? Let's take a 5 minute. Let's take a 5 minute then. I need some more water and a quick bathroom break anyways. We will be back in just a few minutes. I'm going to leave myself in here so they'll be able to hear your pretty voices while I'm in BRB.
Sounds good.
Yep.
In hindsight, I should have got like an actual like med kit or something while back in the drove to bring with us, but
That's fine. Max doesn't see the point of a med kit anyways.
yeah. You don't. No, it's just in hindsight, I'm not sure how stingy Ked's gonna be on the rules, because like technically it's like I can graft Numenera to my body. It's just I'm not sure whether he's gonna just let me do that or whether he's gonna make me specifically buy like a med kit to do that with.
You'll need a full surgical suite.
I mean, actually, how much? Nah, I don't want to potentially waste it. I was gonna say, how much would like an actual like med kit run? Because I kind of overlooked one aspect. It's like, yeah, I have the ability to like graft ciphers to my body to use them and whatnot, and potentially reuse them. But it's like, in hindsight, I forgot to actually buy like some sort of medical or surgical kit to technically do that. So, like, it's just hindsight. It's like, yeah, that's my whatever foci or whatever. It's like, I wasn't sure how stingy you were going to be with my ability to do that. Yeah, it's like, because it's like, yeah, because I can graft ciphers to me. It never says you specifically need tools for it, but it doesn't say that you don't, so I wasn't I wasn't sure how you were going to handle that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. All right. I'll just add in. Yeah. All right. In equipment, I'm just gonna add, first aid kit.
Not to mention, a professional healer can make quite a bit of resource when it comes to living in a very medieval-esque community.
Yeah, because that's kind of my shtick, and I'm trained in medical stuff. And I could literally perform surgery on myself. Yeah. Yeah. But for other first aid and medical stuff, it'll help. Okay, cool. There we go. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking of looping back and getting one anyway, but there's always yeah, there's a chance that I might roll a one and have to walk back, but we had downtime for a couple days anyway. Yeah.
You like after the after everything's built, right? Because like the week and then going in, or you mean like right
Well,
away?
here's the thing. Yeah.
Yep. I would be at the very least.
Well, that like as a group, I think we should decide that like Charlie is nervous, especially looking at Neville and his condition, is nervous about having the group in that kind of situation without having the like having this prototype made first.
Well,
so I think it's up to them.
It's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the 3 days is to build the workshop to start researching how to do that. We could be here for a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Max was going to start delving anyways, even just preliminary through the arteries, just to get a sense of what they're going to face when they go full on.
Okay.
Because it's right there in my class. I'm a delve.
You know, the other thing too is that we can get things started and well on their way, then continue on with our quest, because we're coming back this way once we finish. So more time can be spent then. All things being equal.
I think it's like, are we coming back this way? We might be going somewhere else.
I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, I assume that we are recovered by this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I only had intellect and I can do that myself, so...
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What, recovery rolls? 4.
Oh. 4. By default, you can get extra ones depending on scripters and foci and whatnot. Like our last Cipher game, I had 5. There's a descriptor. There's 1 or 2 descriptors that'll give you an extra one. I think there's a foci or 2 that'll give you an extra one.
Regenerator.
Yep. Theoretically.
It is time to test the theory. I'm going to ask for a measure for that wick. The fuse. For a time. Also, during that 26 hours, I'm going to use some of that time to devote to studying that brass device with nested circular plates that rotate and click, my oddity, that I get. Just because it rotates and clicks, if it's doing that at a set time frame, I can use that essentially by counting the clicks, knowing how long something is happening. Essentially, turning it into an improvised time device. Brass device with nested circular plates that rotate and click.
That's assuming that they rotate and click automatically.
That's what I'm also wondering.
I assumed they'd rotate and click like manually.
Oh, okay. I thought that was doing it automatically. All right. Yep. All right. Never mind then.
And during some of my downtime, I would have been playing my weird odd flute with buttons, rather than balls. Learning how to play this. I know their music.
The what?
Oh, I think Horatio kept it, actually. So he can get up early for his early morning runs and workout.
Yeah. It's a good thing I don't sleep. So I have nothing to lose. Well, the thing is that we don't have to worry about the alarm being loud. It's Horatio.
One day it's going to wake me up and I'm just going to matter disruption Cipher the general area that it's in. It's like, oops, I disintegrated Horatio. I'm intending to.
I will only go if the party is confident in our ability to lead them through it, because I'm willing to take the risk no matter what. That's the pursuit of science, baby.
Yeah.
I'm staying behind.
Yeah. Well, the next day, the scientists and everything, they're staying behind anyway, so it would only be the party entering. Yeah. Besides, it'll be fine. The one chick, she said she's been in over there like 100 times, over 100 times, and she's only got this injury once. So it's fine.
Oh, I guess I'm going.
Plus, we have the jelly.
Our party definitely won't have bad luck going into this random, obscure Numenera place. When do
Lance
we ever
just stands
have
there, he's like, lather me up.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Lancer, definitely.
I'm not.
Yeah. Charlie's lubing up.
Max will also lube up.
Gumball, get my back.
So I think that's 3 or 4.
I already dropped mine, so it's down to 6 now.
I was worried about actually using what other people were using it, the party pot that is.
Oh, Ked, you're muted. You're muted on stream.
Okay,
So,
I'm
thank
going.
you.
I'm moving. That sounds
I
so
forgot the
rude.
BRB screen mutes me and then doesn't unmute me anymore. Thank you, Bodabot.
Yes, I'm going.
Okay, you're going? Okay, so I lowered one for you lubing up as well. Okay, we're good. All right. Okay, with that, and thank you for letting me know. Hopefully I wasn't muted for too long there. I missed a few things, but whatever. It's fine. I'll cut it out in editing. In post, we were just discussing who's lubing up anyways. So, we got everyone going in is getting all lubed up. So that should really bring it down to 2.
Hey, no, it shouldn't. I didn't get looped up.
Oh, you didn't lube up. Okay.
No, I was specifically not looped up.
Okay. All right. Not. You have it with you just in case.
Just in case.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna use it up unless, you know, I absolutely have to.
I've only been muted since the BRB screen, like when we took a 5-minute break. So, and all we've discussed since then is just if they're going in and who's covering themselves in goo. So, good thing so far I was only muted that long.
Yes.
So with that, a bunch of you looking like you got slimed in a Ghostbusters movie, except for Cyrus, you head towards the entrance to this floating monstrosity of an obelisk, the Tokerde pylon.
It's like an Ember. It's like an Ember Scion Bukake, which sounds like a porn that I would want to watch.
Ember Sign Bukake. Japanese fantasy. All right. Yeah, that happened. Okay. So it is with this, and it's still raining outside, all that good stuff. It is with this that you enter, and of course, just like before, not long before the it happens, there's like sort of like a horn sound in the background. The air just that is normally foggy on the superheated pylon itself is just pushed away in a big wave of force as a bunch of heat is expelled and sort of rockets upwards and out of the floating obelisk type structure. The structure itself being of this like bluish black metal of some kind that normally glows at the seams, but now seems to cool down enough. The rain's still sizzling on it, but so much so that it's cooled down enough that it's not actually glowing at the seams anymore. And it's with this that you're able to walk along the synth steel structure that's been made. It's sort of like almost like a rope bridge, but it's all synth steel, like wire and bits and bobs that's been scavenged over time to create this like rickety swing bridge. With that, let's switch music to Rune Delving.
Okay. Time is of the essence. Go, go, go.
And okay, let's see where this goes here. Okay, I would like let's see here. Cyrus, you seemed to be the most gung-ho for entering here. I want you to roll for hexes for me, please.
Like, I want to check it out. It seems cool.
Oh, 4 and a 5.
Use your fancy new hex map roll button.
Oh, okay. All right. We actually get to use a map for this one. Cool. Cool.
I don't like the sound of that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Give me a second to get yourselves set up here. Okay, I am going to say that Horatio and Hawk do stay behind. They're feeling under the weather. Cough, cough.
I have.
But you have to go. Your brother will watch the Bokachos. But you got Fetch with you, so that's the important bit. Who am I missing? Max. Oh, he's over there. There he is. What's that? Oh, did you not want to bring Fetch?
Leave Fetch me.
Leave Fetch behind. Okay.
Yes, please.
Sure. That's totally up to you. Sure. Okay. All right. The Max is probably be like that. Okay, let's put you right here in the entrance. Lights, reset fog of war. There we go. Good shit. Okay. We're gonna pause for a minute as I just describe what is happening where you are. So, the place itself, despite being called cooled down, it still feels like entering an oven. It still is humid and oppressive and heavy. You can feel the skin, even especially Cyrus that doesn't have the goo on. You can feel your skin sort of tighten a little bit. Maybe the ends of your hair just frizz and frazzle. And it just smells like burnt ozone in the area. Crawling through the corridors, if you didn't have gloves, you were given gloves. They said your boots should be fine. The soles, if there was any treads on them, will be a bit softened and melted by the time you're done in here. But they said that they can rework that. But they said, be careful touching anything with your bare skin. It will still be very hot. And as you go through the arterial tunnels of this, as they've called them, or the corridors, are difficult to climb at best. It doesn't look like they were necessarily made for people to be walking in them. They're not hallways per se. It looks more like they happen to be shafts that all these tubes and pipes and everything run through, and it just happens to be big enough that you could walk in between the aloft pipes and tubes and everything. And using these, you can also climb up or down as you need to climb up or down. And you just find yourself weaving between these pipes. Now, sort of a little bit odd is some of the pipes you come across are actually almost cold to the touch. You're guessing it's some sort of cooling system, and some of the pipes are still like orangey, yellow, red hot as well, and you know to stay away from those particular ones. Now, using math and science, you delve into the pipes and the tunnels and weave yourself around as you'll know that there should be some sort of branch off point. And it's this that you get to an area where it seems to be more open. The walls are still covered in these various tubes and pipes, but there seems to be almost like open roomways in some kind. Now, entering in this room, it's got a metal sheet plating that seems to be covered in some sort of layer of soot or ash. And amidst these are little bits of charred and blackened bones. Not a lot of them, not like piles of them, but you see occasional skulls or ribs or anything like that on the floor around you. You can actually see them graphically represented on the map. I'm going to change over to the big map for this. No. And that is where you find yourself. Feel free to move around as need be.
All right, before we actually start delving into this place, Lance is going to pull out one of his glow orbs and attach it to the bottom half of his hammer.
Okay, all right. You do notice that there's some sort of light source in here on the northern wall, so you are getting light where you are at this moment, and you see some probably light leaking from the south as well. Directly south of you, for those that you can see it, there's a bit of light leaking through. It's hard to tell, but there seems to be some sort of a collapsed bit to this like southern tunnel, so you don't think you could actually pass through there.
Yeah. How far is short? It just says short range.
Short is 0 to 3 meters or 0 to 2 squares. You'll see in the bottom there, you see there's like the little button. It looks like a book with a dot over it.
Well, that's immediate.
Oh, sorry, that's immediate. Short is 3 to 15 meters or 2 to 10 squares.
Book with a dot.
I think I gave you guys access to that, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah. Okay.
That should, if you click that, it should bring you up a bunch of information there that I made for you guys, including a nice rainbow chart of all the distances.
All right. Max will start delving forward.
Ugh.
Alright, I should now be emitting light.
Looks like, yeah.
Yep, you are.
Okay, so now we can see down the thingy.
As you round the corner, that's when you see this thing hanging off the ceiling, Charlie and Max. Let me... oh, crazy light going on.
Oh, sorry, I just want to differentiate from the other light.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
There we go.
That is... They are... There.
Oh.
This thing... you see one of them, I think. A fairly large one, too. Little bit bigger than you guys are. Hanging from the ceiling. Seems to be almost some sort of like bat-like humanoid creature, but it's got some sort of weird, you're not sure if it's a fungal growth or plating or something, and then these like tendrils growing out of it.
Interesting.
It notices you, and you instantly hear like a squawking, and then just barely within your audible range, you hear a bit of a vibrating sound of some kind, but you're guessing there's probably more to it, but you can't actually hear it.
Echolocation?
Potentially.
And then feel free to keep moving around. It does not seem to be hostile to you at the moment. I'm just going to turn down your light just a little bit there, bud.
Yeah.
Because if you're in darkness, the light's going to show up.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to draw my bow and arrow in advance.
Okay.
I will hold up a hand.
Same.
Just hold on, Flannery.
The thing drops to the ground with a thud. You actually see another one like come up behind it. There is a bit of a squawk.
I'm going to hold up my hands to show that they're empty and just cautiously walk forward.
Okay. It seems tense, but it doesn't seem to be attacking yet.
Yeah. So this vibration, am I hearing it any differently because of my mechanical?
Your auditory sensors are really just set as the same, in the same lengths as everyone else's.
Okay. Someone hit Hex, or?
No, I think she's hit a button.
Yeah. Looking at my skills here for a second. What sort of check would you want for to see if there's anything that's sifted through in my badly corroded database? Some sort of insight I can glean.
On like what these creatures are, or on languages?
Either or.
On what these creatures are, I mean Numenera knowledge.
Okay. And yeah. whatever it is.
Intellect, of course.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Force.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You've heard of similar creatures to this before. You're getting, I'm gonna say there's like a damaged sub file about them. Like it's almost like glimpses, like a patchwork, like glimpse, like it's a puzzle, but you don't have the box picture and you're missing a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
You get the sense they're not innately hostile, and you kind of get the word curiosity appended to them.
I believe they are just curious about us, and they do not appear to be hostile. For trying to figure out a way of communication, perhaps in trying to match their vocal intonations or some sort of body language.
As you're doing that, the large one there actually pulls out what almost looks like some sort of ornate flute or some sort of wind instrument, and begins to blow into it. And in the truth, which is the main language that you all speak, you kind of hear a whispery tone coming out of it. Who? You?
I just saw Cyrus pop around the corner as soon as you said flute.
I have a
flute. Cyrus, you're up.
Who? Who?
He obviously knows the truth, so maybe he might understand our language. We friends, we mean no harm.
Good friends.
Well, Lance will lower the hammer as soon as he hears that.
Who you?
Qui?
Qui.
Qui?
We're parent out of its file.
Qui friends. We seek.
What do you seek?
We seek.
Is he sick?
He's just looking at you. They seem to be fairly patient creatures.
I am Charlie. Charlie.
You like pointing at yourself, like pantomiming as you're saying?
Yeah. Charlie.
It points at you, Charlie. It points at itself, Qui.
Charlie friend. Charlie Qui friend.
Qui friend. Qui Charlie friend.
Charlie will approach closer and put their hand out.
It reaches down and licks your hand.
Okay, I think we've safely determined that these things are not hostile.
I'm kind of glad you rolled the social encounter, but of course it's this group. I don't know how that's going to go. So,
yeah, it could have very easily went, what the fuck is that thing, Nuke?
I'm assuming Flannery probably wants to move up. I'll move you up there.
Lost my...
You lost your map?
Yeah.
It might just be looking in the wrong section of it. Is it just black?
Max is going to point to the open portal behind them. What beyond there?
Room? Cold.
Cold room.
And you will notice a slight whitish blue light coming from the room behind him.
Okay. It was like one of them safe rooms they were talking about.
Is that how we survive heat?
We cold like.
Room safe for friends?
Room safe friends.
I think that's a yes.
Did we, I'd like to, offer some of my rations to Kui.
It, goes, sniffs at them, and you hear you know when a cat sniffs at something it doesn't like and it goes, "Ugh," and gives that fake vomit thing and moves back? That's kind of what it does.
Okay. Yeah, Charlie puts back yeah, I get that. I should probably eat better.
I think it's barely safe for us to eat.
No.
We explore an area? Seek area?
Safe friends. And he seems a step aside, actually. He chirps, or just the barely edge of your audible range, you can kind of hear a little bit of a chirping. Once again, you imagine the majority of their language is probably outside your audible range. And the things sort of step aside, and they all kind of give a little bit of a bow. There's a couple. There's a couple just milling about here.
I imagine we notice a significant temperature difference as soon as we enter this room.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna see if I can help Kathy out.
I'm gonna try and reload my foundry. I'm pretty laggy.
Yeah, I just got pretty laggy too all of a sudden. There you go. Oh wow,
I'm back.
What do they look like?
Yeah, well, they're not upside down.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's... I got the tokens I've got, I think, turned around. 6. NPCs go away. You go away. Mobs.
I'm going to take out my book and my pencil, and I'm going to draw him.
Okay, he seems quite interested, or it seems quite interested. You have no idea if they even have genders.
And then I'll show him the picture.
Now, you guys, as you... and he seems very interested in the picture. There seems to be some scratches and scrawlings on the walls. Looks like they've kind of made with some of the bones, or even some of the tools they simplistic tools they have with them, that almost like the equivalent of cave paintings or whatever. The guys that are milling about in the cool room, they seem to be inspecting these 3 large rectangular monolith things. That seems to be where the light and the cooling seem to be coming from. It's being emitted by, it looks like big slabs of stone that are probably a good meter high from the floor.
Oh, I know where Charlie's headed.
Yeah, immediately.
Well, I guess
I'll join you.
I guess we found the ones that have been leaving the weird scratchings and drawings and paintings that they mentioned.
Yeah, you first roll, you actually stumbled across it.
Max.
Yes.
Cyrus.
Yes.
I think we're gonna need all 3 of our eggheads here to deal with this.
Figure out what the crap it is and how it functions.
Yeah.
But do you give the big guy the picture? Do you show him to it, or do you give him the picture?
No, I'm going to open my arms up so that he opens his wings.
Okay.
So that I can draw those two.
Sure.
I want to draw all of him because I've never seen anything like this before.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
Yeah, it'll take a few minutes, but I mean, they're inspecting stuff anyways, so yeah, he's more than willing. But he actually kind of motions you, almost like he's like motioning a dog, like, come here, towards the cool room.
When I'm done drawing him, I'll go.
Okay. He'll stand there then if you don't move. He will just stand there. He'll open his wings.
Lost my map again. You'll have to.
Oh, okay. That's sorry. That computer's literally dying. One day we'll get another computer for you.
I'll take that computer out behind the shed with a shotgun.
Yeah, it's dying. It does not run anything anymore. Okay. So yeah, you draw him, and as you're standing out there in the like 50 degrees Celsius temperature. You guys, now when you get to the blocks, you'll notice like not only is it cooler here, but the blocks themselves actually seem to have a little bit of a rime covering part of it.
Oh, they're super chilly.
Like, yeah.
Some sort of refrigeration device. Whatever that is.
Between the three of us, do we think we can figure out how it functions so that we can...
Only one way to find out.
Hopefully without affecting the structural integrity of this room, should we need it.
So GM, do you want 3 rolls or do you want one roll eased twice?
I'm gonna go, well, you can only really be assisted once.
Okay.
I'd say like one of you is probably taking it apart at once. I mean, I don't know what you think would be best. I'm thinking just the run roll is eased by 1. You know what? I'll ease it by 2. And you know what? I don't see a reason why it can't just be eased by 1. I'll ease it by 2.
And are we looking at crafting or knowledge?
So how are you just studying it to see how it works, or are you actually physically taking one of them apart?
Well, I don't think I should take it apart, but I'm wondering how, like, is that what's going to be required to be able to understand it in the way that I can translate it to the cipher?
They would just change the roll that you're making, and I would say it is more difficult if you're not physically taking it apart. So it's probably going to be a higher check that you're going to need if you want to roll Numenera knowledge and just study it.
We'll try the not taking it apart version first. I
was about to say, we could try one, then the other, right?
So do an intellect roll, and you're just using the Numenera knowledge because you're just trying to place it together with other things that you've learned and trying to work it in with the cipher that you already have and stuff like that without actually like physically dismantling the sucker.
Brian, you're actually trained in knowledge, right?
Yep.
Yes, I am.
Then I think you should make the check.
I will make the roll eased by 1, and I'm going to spend a level of effort on it.
We'll ease it by 2. Go ahead and ease it by 2. I'm allowing these to be eased by 2.
All right, and I'm going to spend some effort as well.
I'm not even 100% sure it is only limited to be eased by 1 if you're assisted. It might be more than 1. I'm just going to allow 2 for now. Just because I like it. Whatever.
All right, come on, dice. That's a shitty dice roll.
He has a kind of bountiful.
But thanks to thanks to like the +4, you're pretty good. So so difficulty 6. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. You think it would take a little while, but with difficulty 6, that's pretty good. You know what, I would give you could sketch out a plan seed. Like, you still have to do the research to make it a full-fledged plan, but I'm gonna say that you have the plan seeds for some sort of like local refrigeration field.
Cool.
So if you want to add that plan seed, name it whatever the hell you're gonna name it.
Heat shield.
So you gotta make the workshop. You gotta actually like research it and stuff. Which even just researching the plan, that doesn't have to be at a workshop per se. That you can even do on the road. But then you would actually have to make the sucker as well.
Yeah.
But at the very least, you could give them the plans or the seed of the plan and stuff like a copy of it, so that they could even be working on it, even if you didn't want to stick around. And then if you return, maybe they'll have like full-fledged protective fields by that time. Eventually, after being drawn, the large Quee actually finally managed to lure Flannery into the cooler room. And Flannery, you breathe a sigh of relief as soon as you enter the room. It goes from like 50 degrees Celsius down to like 25 degrees Celsius. It's almost one of those shocks.
Okay. Will he let me trace his hand?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to put his hand on a blank piece of paper, and I'm going to trace it.
Okay. Yeah, he'll definitely allow that. He seems just as fascinated by what you're doing as you are about him physically. And then all of them are actually going to come inside because it's fucking hot out there.
What else is in this room?
Discarded and broken equipment. Looks like of varying levels of technology, from like really crude tools to some slightly more what you would call modern weapons and implements. Mostly, almost all broken and discarded. Most of it charred and burnt in some way, like a lot of like an axe head that's half melted, or like a wooden shield that's been mostly like charred to charcoal, that type of thing. A lot more bones as well, some blood stains, stuff like that. You're pretty sure in the corner see a partially eaten human arm.
I'll turn over to the Quee and just say, "We seek."
Food. We food. Not friend.
I think we found out what happens to people that don't make it out.
Well, I mean, it's instant cooked, so efficient.
Let's see, this human arm, not cooked, I assume.
No, it seems fresh, actually.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's what happens to hostiles against the Quee. Like they said, not friend.
Not friend.
That's what happens when they when people try and attack first.
The Quee closest to Charlie will like kind of look over and kind of like rub them on the head, and like if they're curious, will like kind of like try to point things out and explain them like simplistically, like they would the kids back on Bedrove.
What are you trying to explain? Sorry.
Like in the like easiest form, like what they're doing, like what they're maybe like trying to look at about it, but like as if they were talking to like a 5-year-old.
Okay.
I'm gonna just scan through the refuse and see if there's anything that's usable. May have been missed or just deposited without actually being broken. Or still salvageable, at the very least.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an intellect roll for me.
Awareness?
Sure.
Because I'm trained that.
Yeah, I'll give that.
Select awareness. Definitely gonna ease it. Why not?
Yeah, I'll do that too. I'm just standing there.
Are you assisting me, or?
Yeah, I'll assist you. Ease it by 1.
There you go.
Hot diggity. Difficulty 7.
Roll a d6. You'll find 3 shins.
Nice.
So amidst all the broken refuse and everything, 3 little trinkets that you seem would be worth for bartering.
Very shiny spearhead.
Yeah.
I'll just approach the Windtalker and just say, Max take, friend take.
Gift. Yours.
Thank you. And
The queen that I'm drawing, I show him my picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then I say, baby? And rocking.
He points at the picture and points at himself, who he just drew, and he's like, no, not baby.
Okay. I point to him, and then I make a motion. I hold my hand about a foot off the ground and say, small friend?
He points at the other Quee, which are much smaller than him, and go, small friend.
How more Quee?
Fly.
You fly? Make more Quee?
Fly elsewhere, Quee. How do you fuck?
How do you reproduce? Show me.
Cyrus, how can I put this? I want to find out how they reproduce.
Yes, all I can think of is Nappa going, I want to see how they breed.
Breed for me.
Well, I'm wondering, like, do they have eggs? Do they have live offspring?
is there anything in my data files?
Your guess is as good as mine.
No, everything that you were, like, you rolled well, but not anything on their, like, breeding or even civilization habits. All you really got was that they generally peaceful in nature, just curious. They seem to be very curious. You didn't even have any files on them talking, so that's new. But there has been records of some sort of interaction with them in the past. Maybe even some sort of cooperation as well.
Queen make egg?
Queen not hungry.
You Queen need to find way out?
It takes him a second, because that was like more words, but he's like, Queen seek.
So Queen continue.
Queen seek.
I mean,
I'm going to pull out the map and just show him and see if it registers at all.
Okay. He looks at the map and he sort of traces it a bit, and then like his finger actually goes off of it for a bit, and like you guys have like mentally calculated where some rooms are and stuff, and it looks like he actually sort of traces where exact same places where you think some of the rooms might be. It's just like absent-mindedly, as if he's like not even thinking about it.
We smart.
So they're obviously smart. Intelligent is just language barrier.
Yeah, they probably understand this stuff better than we do.
Max, this means that, and Cyrus, it means we were right.
I'm going to start tracing the map and equations out on one of the walls where there isn't anything there yet.
Okay.
For them.
Yep. He would actually join you. He seems very interested.
In the meantime, I'm going to do a quick sketch that I can give him.
Okay.
Okay.
He seems appreciative of that. Like if you give him a sketch, he'll definitely, there's like a little like some sort of synth weave pouch in the corner of the room. He would go over and actually stick it in there.
Yeah.
I'd like to go over to one of the smaller Quee and show her the original picture that I made. Pull out a fresh sheet of paper and give her the pencil and say, Quee draw.
Okay. It takes the paper, it looks over to the big one, and they open their mouths, but it doesn't really sound like anything's coming out. But eventually it sort of shrugs its shoulder, and then once again, it's almost like a primitive cave painting style of drawing, but they sort of try and draw you in reciprocation. It's very crude.
Thank you.
And then it just hands it back to you.
Good.
Yeah, it just sort of, it tilts its head a little bit and just looks at you.
I'll bow a little bit. Thank you.
I think you got a friend there.
Max, you finished drawing out of the equations and whatnot, and like the map and everything. On the other side of it, the opposite side of where you drew your equations, it starts to scratch what at first just seems to be sort of nonsensical scribbles or scratches. And if you didn't know what you were looking for, you might think it's just like a crude cave painting or something like that. And although you can't fully understand what it's writing, you're getting that it has a similar structure to how your equations work. It's just a completely different language.
So I may not have figured out their linguistics, but I have a grasp on their numerology.
You know they have it, and you know it's structured. You don't know how it works, though. Definitely doesn't seem to be in a same structure as yours.
I'll copy them down as I see them, anyways, just for, musings later.
It studies yours, but it doesn't seem to copy anything down.
Well, it doesn't need to. I just copied it onto the wall for him.
Yeah.
Lance checks the wick length to see how that's brewing.
You're guessing you're probably good. You've been here for a little while. I'd say like 20 minutes now. Actually, probably you were checking out the device for a while. I'd say it's been a good half hour.
We've got about like maybe a little bit longer, folks. And if we're hunkering in this place, then we're here for a whole day.
Quee. How is this place safe for a long time?
Safe, long time. Quee, change. And it like points at the boxes.
We change.
Make long time.
We move boxes?
No, change.
Change how?
Make long time. No change. Change, no change.
I think it means they can make this a permanent cold spot.
Fascinating.
Quee. Is there a way that you can show us how that works?
It kind of tilts its head quizzically at you.
How work? How change?
Quee, show Charlie how change?
Can't.
Okay.
You brain young.
Let's just laugh. So he's like, "You dumb."
Yeah, they're more advanced than us. Yeah. It could be just technological. I mean, for all we know, this could be like some sort of like psychic care.
Like the plan seed. How does that work? That's just like kind of like a drafted ideas, right?
Yeah, it's like the crude rudimentary of a plan.
Can I show Qui that and the cipher? Kind of like trying to like, instead of saying it, like kind of showing them what I mean, like point to the seed, the cipher, and then point to the boxes.
You show him the plan seed, and Qui, he looks at it and he recognizes what it is, but he goes, Qui speak, no read.
Shield. Charlie make shield.
Shield, and he points at like the charred wooden shield in the corner.
Yes, but for this, like this, and I'll point to the box.
Cold.
Cold. Charlie make moving cold, and points to the cipher again.
Okay.
Charlie not know how box make cold.
You young brain. Say hard. Speak little. You speak little.
Flannery is going to move up next to Cyrus and whisper to him. If they change into something else, does that something else eat humans?
Well, you're whispering, sorry.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they seem to be friendly.
When they say Qui change, and there's a human arm over there that looks relatively fresh, that makes me really nervous.
Yeah, well, he said that's what happened to. That was not friend. We friends. So I
yes,
think.
But he said we change. Maybe when they change, we're not going to be friends.
Well, I'm not sure if he was saying that they changed. I think he meant they changed the boxes. I think the Qui were the ones that got these areas, these boxes emitting the cold zone.
How do we know that they don't change into those fire elemental things?
We don't know a lot about them.
Yeah, we don't. I think it's time to go home. We get while the going's good. Maybe we arrange to meet them again tomorrow.
This actually brings up a good suggestion, nicely. Lance will kind of walk up to the one known as Qui.
Okay.
I say, Qui.
Qui.
Fire beast.
Yes.
Where?
Hot. Real hot. Big hot.
Where big hot?
Smoke holes.
Smoke holes.
Bad. Not food. Bad.
Hey, I'll just point to Qui and be like, you not fire beast.
It looks at you, and if it could give a snort, it would. Like, there's still like a snuffle thing. It's like, no fire beast.
Okay, and I'll turn around to the rest of the group and be like, all right, they're not responsible for the fire beasts.
Qui is Qui.
Where's smoke holes? And I'll just trace over the map.
Smoke holes. He looks like he's having a hard time because he's like, it's a 2D map.
Yeah.
He's like trying to give a rough general area. You think you kind of have a rough area, but you're not exactly sure.
Yeah.
And I think for them, it's like, I think they're like way more advanced than we are, like, like a different level of thinking. So it's like trying to dumb down their thought process.
Yeah.
And then the language barrier, and
And you explain the uncertainty principle of quantum mechanics to a 3-year-old that he'd understand. Like,
yeah.
I mean, possibly object permanence might actually make Heisenberg's uncertainty principle easier to understand.
Yes, but we don't know that.
Everything you said there, just most 3-year-olds would not even understand half those words. So yeah, you small brain.
Yeah. Best expressed mathematically.
We big dumb.
We head back. I'm sorry. We should possibly head back and inform the others.
You want stay or you go?
Kui, I think we're gonna go.
Okay. We stay.
But can we visit you again? Can friend come back?
No, Kui, go home.
We go home. Well, it was not.
Kui, come back later.
All right. Hope to meet again.
You're not Kui home?
You're not Kui home. It's hot.
Unsure.
We need Sky.
Nice. Was nice to meet Kui.
Good, Kui. What did you say?
Are they like dragons?
Well, I mean, they're flying. They're sort of lizard-like, kind of. It's like if a bat, a lizard, and a fungus somehow had a love child. You don't even know what to classify their physiology as.
They're like nicer versions of the fungi of Nico.
Yeah. So yeah, the Kui just keep going around. But the Kui look at you and they're like, doors close soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
We gotta go.
Pick up your shit and let's go.
All right. Just for now, it's gonna seriously bug me unless I check this door.
Okay.
I've been sitting at this like this amount of time. It's like it's gonna bug me if I don't look in this door.
Yeah. Yeah. Feel free to explore. It looks like it's just a hallway that leads out. Oh, I missed a Kui. Looks like it's just a hallway that leads out to more of the area.
Okay. It's just I'm sitting at that closed door this entire time. It's like I wonder if that loops around. Or... it's like I have to look. It's gonna drive me crazy.
All right. So with that, you guys are, so you still have like 20 minutes left. Did you like want to do any little side exploring on the way out, or are you just booking it just in case?
I think for our first time, this is probably safe to give us a little extra time to leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The bones that are on the floor, are they all human bones, or are there bones that we don't recognize as human?
There are bones you do not recognize. There are bones, some bones that you're pretty sure are human, and there are some bones of creatures that you are not entirely familiar with.
I'm going to pick up one of the strange bones.
Okay.
And say, take?
Yeah, the Queen looks at you and goes, okay, you take. Gift.
And I'll do the bow thing again, and thank you.
You see a couple of the Kui actually look at each other and just shrug.
Probably like, why the fuck they want bones?
Why are they taking from a rubbish bin? What the fuck? Fucking trash pandas, I'll tell you.
I'm a naturalist. I study this shit.
They don't know shit.
We're the equivalent of raccoons that just raided their garbage bin.
A little bit. I mean, they could be crafty little
I'd say it's the same intelligence difference.
Yeah, really.
Like, raccoons are super smart, but we don't expect them to be figuring out super advanced science. But at the same time, I mean, yeah.
Explain quantum mechanics to a raccoon.
Yeah, there we go. So, yeah.
Rocket probably schooling us.
So with that, you managed to make it out.
So cute.
You managed to make it out. You're out with more than enough time. You actually you're back in the camp before you even have to worry about anything. Before the horn thing goes off. And yeah, you get back into the camp. Neville and Naomi, the other two scientists are interested as well, but Neville and Naomi seem to be the most invested in this, and they're like sort of like waiting, like sitting impatiently as they're waiting for you to come back. And you hear Naomi as you come back. So what did you find? Did you find anything?
Yes, we did.
Oh, what?
We found almost instantaneously a cold room that was being inhabited by these, and I turn over to Flannery. Show the sketch, please.
And I will open my book and show them what I drew. The picture of the whole Quee, the picture of the wingspan, the picture of the hand, paw, claw, whatever it's called, and then the picture she drew of me.
Very intelligent and curious, though there is barrier in language.
Fascinating. Remarkable pictures, by the way. You seem to have studied animals and physiology of creatures and such before. So intelligent, but were these the ones responsible for the primitive sketches on the walls, perhaps?
Without comparative analysis, unable to determine, but it could be.
We believe so, yes.
I see.
Comparing the picture that she drew of me and what I saw on the walls, I would say yes.
They also may have the ability to alter the rooms to make them cold rooms or turn them off and on.
But they told us.
Oh my.
That's
what they told us. We didn't stick around to find out.
They also left.
They seem to be very, more advanced than we know technologically, or in terms of the Numenera, because, while we were trying to get them to help us understand the cold rooms, the translation that they managed to give us was that they couldn't explain to us because we had young brains. So I'm thinking it's just
Neville will actually laugh, and you hear inside his helmet, they weren't human. There's no way they were as advanced as us. But it is possible that they may have figured out a trick or two we have not.
We left early because I became very anxious about human remains that we found in that room that were relatively fresh.
I see. Well, just more proof.
The Quee explained to us that the remains were not friends.
They were very gregarious hosts if they identify you as a friend. So, if encountered in the future, perhaps
Well, let's just say that you're not the first group of random visitors to have come by, even within the last week, to delve into these ruins. And, well, they're not sitting here camping with us.
Yes. It seems these Quee, as they call themselves, they are friendly. It's just that they didn't attack us first. They were more like curious about us. So as soon as we presented ourselves as friends, they were more than helpful and friendly, and and showed us the cold zone room. So
I see.
I'm thinking that previous group of explorers may have been a little too quick on their weapons when they encountered them, and
Now the devices in the cold room, were you able to dismantle them?
We did not need to. We were able to figure out through just passive observation and discussion on how it quite possibly worked. And we have devised, I believe, the beginnings of a plan.
I mean, that won't get us the parts, but I am very happy to hear about the plan. Wish you had dismantled them.
We did not want to risk destroying a potential safe zone.
I see. Well, I mean, if we can build this, we wouldn't need safe zones anymore. I think the Kui would have understood, as they charred, of course.
Also, I didn't want to start disassembling something that they may have, put together or made work in the first place and risk, angering or making the Kui hostile.
Yes. Although they're not human, so it wouldn't have mattered. At the same time, not being attacked is a good driving force. That is good survival skills there.
Also,
They're not humans, so they don't matter.
They're intelligent.
Excuse me?
The
Also,
abhumans.
I would just like to point out another reason not to do it was because it may have taken more than an hour to dismantle. And if we dismantled it and it turned off the cold effect within that hour, then we would be stuck in the heat.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. I agree.
Also, they seem to know of these pudding rock creatures. They said they come from smoke holes.
The demons.
Oh, the demons. Oh, they know of them.
Yes. The big hots.
Interesting. Smoke holes.
They tried to describe where the smoke holes and where they were coming from, but given the fact that this is a 2D representation of a 4D object, it was not exactly clear.
Yes.
As well as our various mathematical equations did not directly translate.
I see. I don't know
So
what
I do have a sample.
I do not know what 4D object is, but it sounds complex. This fortress of some kind does seem to be truly complicated in some way.
Indeed.
I'm glad you have unlocked some of its mysteries.
Hopefully, we shall be able to do more.
Charlie, I believe your name is? Lass?
That's correct.
Let's go over these plans and see what we can figure out.
I do not identify by gender. You can refer to me as simply a scientist.
It's fine enough by me. I don't even have a gender anymore myself. That got burned away. All that matters is the knowledge.
Oh my.
Flannery is going to go and check on the two sick boys and then write up her notes. How tall are the Kui, what color, the different shading. See if she can identify various parts of their body.
She's gonna make on a full-on Pokedex for Numenera by the time she's done.
I just see the Flannery starring special in the future. And here we see the native Kui in their natural state, completely shitting on our young brains.
Now I'm gonna go shove my thumb up his butthole, really piss him off.
Shit.
Right now!
I'm glad I left the room.
So with that, you are, it's going to take you some time to delve into plans, see if you can make actual proper plans out of them. Although you've got plenty of scientists around to help you, that's for sure. And it looks like you'll be probably spending a little while delving into this place, as I kind of figured you would, although I was actually fully expecting combat today. I was not expecting a full RP/exploration session, but I think everyone still had fun.
Yeah, that was a blast.
Lance was in first contact with these creatures, so... Oh god, kill it!
Nobody said anything about the Prime Directive.
Yeah.
I was about to say, there is a bright side of having two of the most testosterone charged characters not actually with us at the time.
Yeah, Brian, what were you saying? As soon as we...
I was gonna say, it's as soon as I saw that we were going into a map area, I fully expected to nuke something.
Yeah, not all of them are for combat. Sometimes, well, I had that one prepped because I wasn't sure with you guys if it would turn into combat. So I was like, yeah.
It's always iffy whether something's going to be social or combat.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with Numenera. A social thing could turn into combat, or a planned combat encounter, if you do it right, could turn into social. I mean, almost anything can be reasoned with.
Like, we've done that enough times too. It's like, I was expecting you to kill this thing, not talk it into whatever.
Even if you find a murderous robot, I mean, there's a way you could find to just talk it down. I don't know. Like, whatever.
Like in Kickwick one campaign where we randomly befriended the dragon.
Yeah. So,
damn it, I've come up with personality now.
It's 20 minutes before our normal ending time. There's no sense really us getting into anything else right now. So I think this is probably a good place to call it. So that has been another episode of The Truth Outside. I'm pretty happy with the way that went. That was really cool. And we didn't have a lot of roles with which I could do intrusions on today. So unfortunately, no one earned any experience from intrusions. But you guys made, according to my notes, like a bunch of discoveries. So that is, everyone can add 4 more experience to your character sheets.
Oh, wow.
Because that's the bread and butter of Numenera and the Cipher system is discovery. That's when you get the real stuff. Flannery, I'll add it on for yours to make it easier. You'll be at 7. And then so after we're done this, I'll let you guys. I'll keep the server up so we can level, or like if you want to buy anything and stuff with it. And don't forget, there's like a billion other things you can do with XP that's not just improving our characters. So sometimes you want some floating around. We can go through that in a minute as well.
I may have given up the parts to make my robot, but I think this is going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
We'll find more parts for your robot.
You will find. Trust me, if you start doing some salvaging in this area, you're going to find tons of shit. Salvaging is in Numenera is sort of meant to be fairly easy to do, as long as you keep like saying you're salvaging whenever you get through these ruins and stuff like that. You're going to find parts. You're going to be able to build shit. There's not a scarcity problem with that.
Yeah. Especially if we can like move through this monolith unhindered, like with no time limit.
Yeah, your guys are going in a direction I did not anticipate. But it doesn't hurt me at all. I think it's fascinating. I mean, you're still going to go to the same places I planned, whether you go there in 1 hour increments or not. So
I would also like to point out, in all of our Hex dungeon stuff so far, both this and back in Bedrove, we've been like really freaking lucky with the rolls, because we like almost completely zoom right in our target every single time.
Yeah.
You had your problem with that?
I don't have a problem with that. I'm just pointing it out.
I'm really happy with the way the Hex system was working.
Alien?
Sorry, what's that?
Are the Quee alien?
You have no idea.
Because I really take exception to what's his name's attitude about they're not human, so they don't matter.
You gotta let go.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot.
If you hold it down, my voice comes through twice. You have had, Bedrove may not be big on it because it's a small village, but especially travelers from bigger cities that have come through Bedrove, you've experienced his attitude before. There is a fairly common level of, I want to call it speciesism, basically towards non-human intelligent creatures, because it is such a cutthroat world and humans are just barely eking out their existence. It is xenophobia, and a good chunk of your race is fairly xenophobic. You've even heard murmurs that there may even be levels of slaughter, slavery, wholesale speciesism, xenophobia against them. Not all places. There's plenty of places you've heard of them living side by side. But because it is such a cutthroat world, there's a lot of communities that see anything not human as a threat. So, especially out of a lot of the intelligentsia, it's not, unfortunately, that uncommon to hear.
Well,
I was surprised by his attitude, because these are people, the Quee, who could ostensibly help the scientists to figure out what's going on inside the monolith.
He doesn't believe that though, because they're not people.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah, it's the whole thing of it's probably safer for them in this case just to assume sort of the worst, because there's the potential to kill them regardless.
And unless a small community, like the way I'm running it, and the way it even is presented in the book, unless a small community specifically had issues with certain abhumans or whatnot, it's funny that the small communities are, the small like redneck communities are actually less likely to be xenophobic because they haven't been taught it. They don't know it. It's the bigger communities in the cities that are.
Also, if they're out in the boonies, they're probably more likely to run into non-humans on a daily basis than a fortified stronghold city.
Maybe not. There's plenty of communities out there that haven't seen anyone but people in their community for years because everything is so far away from each other. Yeah, so I think that is it for the Truth Outside today. Before we get into random philosophical discussions about the game, I'm having a lot of fun. I think it's great. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will be back again next week. Don't forget, there is the hype train on Saturday that you are going to want to check out. I will also be back Sunday with another RPG at, I think we're going to start at, I still haven't gotten count to get back to me yet. We're probably aiming for 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Still, might as well keep it that way for the moment. We're doing a one-shot of Paranoia, which you're going to want to check out because that is going to be, I think, super fun. Love Paranoia.
Tiny Punk tomorrow?
That is running tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, so Tiny Punk as well. So that's on BHG's channel. Let me shout out. So that is 7 p.m. Eastern time as well. So that's going to be live streamed on Bad Hair Gaming's channel, where we're playing all toys. I'm playing a chinchilla, anything small really. We've got like a small gaming system, a guy that's made out of like Play-Doh, like all sorts of stuff. It's really fun. So check that one out tomorrow.
And if you head over there, you can also torture BHG by making him eat potentially awful beans.
Awful beans. And exercise.
You know you're coming back to my campaign at some point in time, Wes.
Yeah, I know.
So if
I'll remember these moments.
So if you're on Twitch, don't forget to follow, like. If you're on YouTube, subscribe and like. All of that good stuff, especially on YouTube. If you're on the Twitch, go to the YouTube, please. Head up and just give that little subscribbles button, because I really want to get monetized on YouTube, and I need all the people I can get on there, and I would really appreciate it. And we do a lot of shit for it. So that is about it. I think that's all of our stuff for today. So as always, stay healthy, stay safe, and we've got some people here. It's not our biggest night, but I think we could still raid somebody.
Droki's streaming right now. They're doing Minecraft.
Oh.
See who all I got here.
Well done, gentlemen. I wish you good night and find your joy.
Oh, good night.
Good night. And just as a reminder, for Yahoo, subscribe and check the doodly-doo.
What? Yahoo?
YouTube.
Sorry.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yahoo? What? I gotta load up my I'll load up my Yahoo. I just gotta get my Internet Explorer here, and I'll ask Jeeves exactly where I gotta go for it.
I was watching Wubby the other night, and he was talking about how he went to dinner with his dad, and his dad is still using AOL.
Oh my god.
He's been paying $20 a month for like the past 30 years.
Droki. Okay, we'll go with Droki then. All right. V2 with Drogi, playing some Minecraft. All right. As always, let them know where you came from. Maybe stick around for a few minutes, say hello, watch what they're doing, all that good stuff. And I do believe that is it for us today. Thank you again for joining, and we will be back again next week and many times throughout the course of the weekend as well. Bye.
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 And then for the YouTube streamers that are here for that second longer, I love you guys. You're the best, but now I'm going to have to end it manually because I can't raid on YouTube yet, although that is something they're implementing.